Next tonight, a picture of something so obvious it has everyone saying, "How did you not see that?"
After 2 strikes, Kelly Johnson went from third base to play the shift over at right.
Have you ever rooted so passionately for a team or athlete that tears formed in your eyes? That indescribable emotion, when a beloved player or team clinches their long-sought victory, can leave even grown men tearful. The drive to win prompts severe athletes to go to extremes. Some play despite injuries, while others make significant personal sacrifices. Yet some athletes disregard rules for an advantage. Luckily, numerous such individuals are caught red-handed. Dive in as we unveil the 15 craziest instances of athletes caught cheating on live TV. Number 15. Mike Tyson's famous bite fight. In February 11, 1990, the boxing world was stunned when Tyson suffered a surprising loss to Buster Douglas in Tokyo, Japan. Then, just a couple of years later, Tyson faced another major setback when he was imprisoned due to accusations of abuse by Desiree Washington. After serving time, Tyson returned to the ring in 1995, only to suffer another defeat in 1996, when Evander Holyfield knocked him out in the 11th round at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. But the stage was set for redemption. The rematch was set for June 28, 1997, at the same venue, and Tyson's burning desire for revenge simmered beneath the surface, promising a showdown like no other. In a dramatic rematch reminiscent of their first encounter, Holyfield showcased his superior skills in the ring again, leaving a visibly diminished Tyson struggling to keep up. But the unexpected happened when fans thought they had seen it all. In a moment of desperation, Tyson shocked the world by sinking his teeth into Holyfield's ear during a clinch. The arena erupted in chaos as Holyfield bled and protested to referee Mills Lane, who made the unprecedented decision to disqualify Tyson on the spot. Amidst the confusion, fans watched in disbelief as slow-motion replays revealed the full extent of Tyson's shocking act. After that infamous bout, Tyson got suspended from boxing, and Holyfield ended up with a lasting injury. Despite keeping his title, Holyfield had the scars to prove it. As things calmed down, everyone couldn't help but be captivated by this unforgettable moment in boxing history, now forever dubbed the Bite Fight. I believe you will agree that this incident will go down in boxing history, forever etching a chapter in Mike Tyson's career that continues to draw criticism even today. But here's the burning question most people are asking. What happened to the piece of Holyfield's ear that Tyson bit off? According to various media sources, Holyfield and his then physical trainer Tim Hallmark claimed it was lost. Meanwhile, Holyfield was transported to the hospital in an ambulance. Number 14. Joe Niekro cheated by scuffing baseballs. Let me spin you a tale about one of the funniest cheating scandals in baseball history, starring good old Joe Niekro from the Minnesota Twins. So check this. It's 1987 and Niekro's in the middle of a game when suddenly he's caught red-handed with some sandpaper and an emery board. You know, the stuff you use for a DIY manicure. Instead of owning up to it like a champ, Niekro decides to pull a disappearing act worthy of a magician. He tries to discreetly ditch the evidence by tossing the emery board out of sight, but one of the umpires catches him in the act. I bet you can imagine the scene. The stadium must have laughed as Niekro's sneaky move backfired. To top it off, he ended up with a 10-game suspension for his trouble. But you've got to hand it to Niekro for trying to pull off some magic on the field, even if it didn't quite go as planned. While he may have retired the next year, his sandpaper scandal remains one of baseball's most hilarious and unforgettable moments. Number 13, Dwight Howard Stick'em Sage. Step right up, basketball fans, and let's discuss the wild world of NBA antics with none other than Dwight Howard, the larger-than-life center known for his dominant play and occasional flair for the dramatic. In a surprising twist, Howard, who was cooling his heels on the bench, decided to make his presence felt. He motioned to the referee, requesting that he inspect the ball before Millsap got his hands on it. What was he up to? As Howard handled the ball, the crowd held its breath, curious about his intentions. Little did they know, Howard was secretly applying stickum to the ball, hoping to throw Millsap off his game. Let us say you are in the arena, watching the game unfold. You see Howard's slick move and wonder if anyone else noticed. The tension mounts as Millsap receives the ball and starts his free throw routine. Suddenly, Millsap feels something sticky on the ball and hesitates. The crowd murmurs, sensing something's amiss. Then, without missing a beat, Millsap tosses the ball back to the referee, revealing Howard's sneaky tactics. The arena erupts in a mix of shock and disbelief. Howard's attempt to cheat had been caught on live television, and the commentators couldn't believe their eyes. But what couldn't the consequences for Howard? The good news for Howard was that he didn't get suspended, but he got caught on live TV with sticky hands. Number 12. Ronaldo's fake acting revealed. If Hakan Ünsal of Turkey had just passed or kicked the ball away in frustration during the 2002 World Cup match against Brazil, we wouldn't still be talking about it today. But instead, Unal decided to launch the ball towards Ronaldo, who was getting ready for a corner kick. What happened next was pure drama. Ronaldo dropped to the ground holding his face as if he'd been hit in the face. The referee and his assistant missed the incident, so they took Ronaldo's word for it and sent Ünsal off the field. However, replays showed that the ball had actually hit Ronaldo's leg, which was nowhere near his face. FIFA later fined him £4,500 for faking it. Ronaldo didn't even show any remorse, though. He defended himself, saying, "Sure, the ball didn't hit my face, but Ünsal shouldn't have done that in the first place. I'm glad he got the red card. There's too much rough play in football. Where the ball hit me doesn't matter. It's the intention that counts." Number 11. Badminton players trying to lose. When you buy a ticket to watch an Olympic athlete compete, you expect to see the highest level of athletic performance. However, spectators at the 2012 London Badminton Games were sometimes let down by athletes caught cheating on live TV. 4 teams intentionally lost matches, attempting to deceive the competition. Fans settled into their seats, eagerly awaiting the start of the match, only to witness a rather puzzling turn of events. Instead of witnessing fierce competition and jaw-dropping athleticism feats, they watched teams trying to lose the game. I know it sounds absurd, but how could losing possibly improve your chances of winning a medal? According to The Guardian, it all boils down to the tournament structure. With group stages followed by knockout rounds, teams strategized to manipulate their matchups in the later stages. Take one of the top Chinese teams, for example. They faced off against the South Korean team in the group stage. Here goes the intriguing part. If they intentionally lost, they'd avoid facing their fellow Chinese teammates until the final, potentially securing both gold and silver for China. But if they won, they'd have to go head-to-head with their compatriots much earlier in the knockout stage. It was a blatant attempt to game the system, and the crowd wasn't having it. Boos echoed through the arena as spectators caught on to what was happening. Even the South Korean team caught wind of the scheme and started playing subpar to match. The match became a farce, with rallies lasting seconds and players making uncharacteristic mistakes left and right. Despite officials' warnings to play fair, the teams persisted in their antics. In the end, the consequences were dire. 4 teams were disqualified for their blatant attempts to throw matches, all in pursuit of that elusive medal. It was a scandal that rocked the world of badminton and left fans questioning the integrity of the sport at its highest level. Number 10. Seoul men's dirtiest race. Fans are sitting in the stands, eagerly watching the 100-meter dash at the Olympics. The tension rises as the athletes line up, ready to explode off the starting blocks in a whirlwind of speed. Each second feels like an eternity as you wait for the race to begin. And when it does, it's like watching lightning strike, fast and electrifying. This event isn't just any race, it's where legends are made. Names like Usain Bolt come to mind, sprinting their way into history books and capturing the world's fastest person title in 10 seconds. It's the pinnacle of athletic achievement, a showcase of raw speed and determination that leaves spectators in awe. But amidst the thrill of competition lies a darker reality: doping scandals. The use of performance-enhancing drugs has tainted the sport of running in the Olympics for years, casting a shadow over the achievements of even the greatest athletes. And no event exemplifies this more than the infamous 1988 Seoul men's final. This race, dubbed the dirtiest race in history by many, unfolded like a gripping drama on the world stage. Imagine 4 of the top 5 finishers embroiled in a web of controversy and shame. Ben Johnson, once a revered track star, had his gold medal stripped away when it was revealed that he had cheated by using performance-enhancing drugs. It was a stunning fall from grace for Johnson, who went from hero to zero in the blink of an eye. And then there's Carl Lewis, the epitome of integrity in the world of athletics. He found himself racing against a supposed cheater in the form of Johnson, only to have his own doping scandal surface years later. It was a bitter blow to his reputation, tarnishing his image as a beacon of honesty and fair play. But the drama doesn't end there. 2 more runners were caught up in the doping scandal, further marring the integrity of the race. It's a sobering reminder that even on the grandest stage, the pursuit of glory can sometimes lead down a path of deceit and betrayal. In the end, the 1988 Seoul men's final serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the pitfalls of doping in sports and the importance of upholding the values of fair play and honesty. It's a story of triumph and tragedy, of heroes and villains that continues to captivate audiences today. Number 9. Sammy Sosa's cork trick. Let's take a trip back in time, shall we? It's 20 years ago, and Sammy Sosa, the once beloved star of the Chicago Cubs, finds himself embroiled in a scandal that surprises the baseball world. It all unfolded during a tense showdown between the Cubs and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays on that fateful day of June 3rd, 2003. The game was in full swing when suddenly the umpires caught Sosa red-handed, or should we say cork-handed. Sosa was busted using a corked bat, a major no-no in the world of baseball. The news spread like wildfire, stunned fans and commentators and scratching their heads. But here's where things really start to get interesting. In the aftermath of the incident, Major League Baseball sprang into action, launching a full-blown investigation into Sosa's arsenal of bats. They seized a staggering 76 of them, eager to uncover any other corked weapons in Sosa's arsenal. However, to everyone's surprise, not one of Sosa's other bats was found to be corked. It was like finding a needle in a haystack, or in this case, a cork in a pile of perfectly innocent bats. In a bid to salvage his reputation, Sosa offered an apology, claiming that he had mistakenly grabbed the corked bat, thinking it was meant for batting practice. But despite his explanation, the damage was done. Sosa's once sterling reputation was tarnished, and the baseball world was left reeling with questions. Suddenly, every achievement, every home run, and every accolade that Sosa had racked up over the years was called into question. It was a scandal of epic proportions that rocked the foundation of America's favorite pastime. And even today, the saga of Sammy Sosa and his corked bat remains a cautionary tale for athletes everywhere. Number 8. The dangerous act of Romano Fenati. In the realm of professional sports, maintaining composure stands as an indispensable trait for athletes. Unfortunately, Romano Fenati appeared to overlook this crucial aspect early in his career, especially during the high-stakes San Marino Moto2 finale. Fenati found himself in a nerve-wracking scenario in the heat of competition as he negotiated a crucial turn. During this pivotal moment, his rival racer, Stefano Manzi, managed to overtake him. In response to Manzi's move, Fenati's emotions surged, leading him to take a perilous and rash course of action. Disregarding safety protocols and exhibiting recklessness, Fenati aggressively maneuvered his motorcycle towards Manzi's, purposefully seizing hold of Manzi's front brakes. This reckless act occurred despite both riders hurtling down the track at speeds well over 130 miles per hour. The consequences of Fenati's impulsive maneuver were severe and far-reaching. He faced immediate disqualification from the race, followed by the revocation of his racing license. Additionally, his contract with the Marinelli Snipers team was promptly terminated. The gravity of the situation was so profound that the Italian justice system contemplated charging Fenati with attempted murder. Such a notion, while drastic, held some validity given the potentially life-threatening nature of Fenati's actions. In retrospect, Fenati's impulsive decision to endanger himself and his fellow racer was a perilous move that could have resulted in a tragic outcome. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of maintaining composure and adhering to safety standards in the high-stakes world of professional sports. Number 7. Vincenzo Nibali's twist. Vincenzo Nibali found himself in a remarkable situation during a competitive event in 2015. After experiencing a significant crash, Nibali found himself trailing behind his fellow competitors. However, an unexpected turn of events occurred when he received assistance from a team car. These support vehicles typically provide necessities such as towels and water to aid athletes during races. However, upon returning a water bottle to the team car, Nibali clung to it and refused to let go. The motive behind Nibali's actions remains unclear. It is uncertain whether he was exceptionally thirsty or if he perceived an opportunity to utilize the team car as a makeshift tow vehicle. Despite the ambiguity surrounding his intentions, the consequences were evident. Nibali inadvertently received an unplanned assist, which raised suspicions and eyebrows among onlookers. When he pulled off that unusual move, the officials had to disqualify him from the race. It's a big deal because it shows that, like any sport, everyone has to follow the same rules for cycling. We all want to see a fair competition where everyone has an equal chance to win. When someone tries to bend the rules or cheat, it takes away from the excitement and fairness of the game. These moments really emphasize why it's so crucial for athletes to stick to the rules and show good sportsmanship. It's not just about winning, it's about how you play the game and the example you set for others. Number 6. Michael Pineda's trick. In a recent showdown against the Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees pitcher Michael Pineda found himself in hot water after getting caught red-handed with pine tar. This sticky situation landed him a 10-game suspension for violating Major League Baseball's strict rules against using foreign substances on the ball. But here's the plot twist. This wasn't Pineda's first run-in with pine tar. Earlier in the season, the Red Sox warned him about his not-so-sneaky use of the stuff. Yet, here we are again, with Pineda facing the consequences of his sticky fingers. In his defense, he claimed he was worried about losing control of the ball and accidentally beaning a Red Sox player. Seriously, who's buying that excuse? Now let's rewind a bit and talk about pine tar. This ancient substance has a rich history dating back to colonial times when sailors used it to weatherproof their ships. Fast forward to today, and it's still making waves, not just in baseball, but also in farming, where it's used to treat horse hooves and wounds. As Pineda sits out his suspension, he has some serious soul-searching. Can he clean up his act and win back the trust of his team and fans? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this sticky situation is far from over. Number 5. Simon Dyson golf cheat. In the thrilling world of professional golf, where every putt and swing is a testament to skill and honor, Simon Dyson's actions at the BMW Masters set off a chain reaction that captivated fans and players alike. His seemingly silly decision to press down on a mark on the green sent shockwaves through the sport, sparking debates and discussions that reverberated far beyond the tournament grounds. Caught red-handed, pressing down on a spike mark on the green, Dyson found himself in hot water. It might seem like a minor infraction to the casual observer, but it was a breach of the highest order in the intricate world of golf. Golf isn't just a game of skill, it's a game of honor, where players are expected to uphold the utmost standards of fair play and honesty. The aftermath of Dyson's misstep was swift and severe, as a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from the path of integrity. Alongside a hefty fine, Dyson faced suspension from the sport, a penalty that underscored the seriousness of his actions. Yet perhaps even more impactful was the blow to Dyson's reputation, painstakingly built over years of professional play. In a sport where character is paramount, tarnishing one's reputation can be a career-altering blow. However, beyond the immediate repercussions, Dyson's story serves as a powerful lesson for athletes and enthusiasts alike. It highlights the enduring importance of fair play and sportsmanship, reminding us that true victory is not measured solely by trophies, but by the manner in which one conducts themselves on and off the course. Indeed, Dyson's journey resonates deeply with athletes, fans, and aspiring sportspeople. It serves as a cautionary tale, prompting us to reflect on the values underpinning the sports we love and the responsibilities of competition. In the end, Dyson's story is more than just a cautionary tale. It's a rallying cry for integrity in sports. It reminds us that while the pursuit of victory may be tempting, it is ultimately hollow if not achieved with honor and fairness. As we navigate the highs and lows of competition, let us remember the enduring legacy of those who choose to uphold the highest standards of integrity, both on and off the field. Number 4. Marian Jones' steroid saga. Marian Jones, the track and field superstar, went from being on top of the world to hitting rock bottom faster than you can say Olympic champion. Once hailed as the fastest woman alive, her confession about using steroids ended up costing her big time. She got stripped of all 5 of her medals from the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Can you believe it? This scandal wasn't just a little hiccup in her career. It was like a massive earthquake that shook the entire sports world. People were shocked. Jaws dropped and the outcry was heard around the globe. Suddenly, everyone was talking about doping and cheating, and anti-doping measures got a serious overhaul. Marian's story became the poster child for the consequences of cheating in sports, reminding them that integrity is non-negotiable. The fallout from Marian Jones's disgrace was no joke. It kicked off a full-on battle against performance-enhancing drugs. Her story might be a cautionary tale, but it's also a testament to the value of honor in the relentless pursuit of victory. Number 3. Using mechanical enhancements in cycling. Lance Armstrong, once the golden boy of cycling, found himself at the center of a storm of controversy. Accused of resorting to technological trickery in his pursuit of glory, the legend faced allegations of using a secret motor in his bike during some of the sport's most iconic races. It's a tale that reads like something out of a gripping thriller. Stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles due to doping accusations, Armstrong's fall from grace was already the stuff of legend. But now, fresh allegations have emerged, suggesting his victories may have been aided by more than just performance-enhancing drugs. Former French anti-doping chief Jean-Pierre Verdy didn't mince words when he called Armstrong the biggest scam and hinted at complicity and special treatment. And his suspicions aren't just wild theories. They're backed by a mountain of evidence, including footage showing Armstrong allegedly reaching for a hidden motor during a race. This isn't your average sports scandal. It's a high-stakes mystery that has captivated fans and experts alike. Commercially available since 1988, these covert motors offer a significant advantage, capable of pushing cyclists ahead of the pack with their hidden power. The thought of Armstrong, once hailed as a hero, potentially cheating his way to victory with a motor hidden in his bike is enough to leave jaws dropping. It's a tale of ambition, betrayal, and the lengths some will go to chase greatness, no matter the cost. Number 2, Diego Maradona. Diego has always managed to evade repercussions for a blatant breach of sporting ethics, a transgression that likely occurs in the careers of nearly every athlete. Think back to Jack Charlton's handball in the 1996 semifinal, Martin Peters' admission of diving for a penalty in 1973, or Paul Scholes' clever arm-assisted goal for England. Yet these incidents didn't draw nearly as much scrutiny. Even more disconcerting is the possibility that Maradona faced more than his fair share of unfair treatment throughout his football career. From the mid-1970s to the mid-1990s, players were covering twice the ground they used to on average. But did referees step up to provide him with the protection he needed? Sadly, no. Maradona found himself roughed up game after game. Recall the legendary 1986 match against England? He was kicked around like a rag doll. Then, there's the heartbreaking incident in the 1994 World Cup. He was booted out for failing a drug test. There's no way around it. He broke the rules and faced the consequences. But let's put it into perspective. Ephedrine, the substance in question, is relatively minor compared to heavy-duty stuff like steroids. Plus, this all happened towards the end of his illustrious career when he wasn't at the top of his game. During Argentina's desperate bid to qualify, they suffered a humiliating defeat to Colombia. They practically begged Maradona to return, and he couldn't refuse. So they resorted to shortcuts to help him shed some pounds. In a somewhat merciful move, FIFA hinted that Maradona might have been unaware that he was consuming a banned substance, indicating the possibility of an oversight by his personal physician in obtaining an over-the-counter product. This revelation greatly affected the reputation of a football icon whose legacy was built on skill and talent. It's a poignant reminder of the challenges and temptations faced by athletes, even those of legendary status, and serves as a cautionary tale in the world of sports. Number 1, Rosie Ruiz. Last but not least, meet Rosie Ruiz. Finishing a super long 26.2-mile race is a big deal. It's something to cheer about, no matter how fast you go. But Rosie, she had some different ideas. Rosie was dead set on winning the Big Boston Marathon in 1980, and she was willing to do whatever it took. Instead of running the whole race like everyone else, Rosie thought she'd take a shortcut. And by shortcut, I mean she skipped most of the marathon. Surprisingly, Rosie just popped up near the finish line, breezing across like she had been there the whole time. And get this, her time would have put her up with the best. But here's the thing, nobody saw her during the race, and people started wondering if something fishy was going on. Turns out, Rosie wasn't new to bending the rules. They dug into her past races and found out she had pulled a similar trick before, hopping on the subway to the finish line. You can guess what happened next. Rosie's victory dance didn't last long. Her marathon finishes were stripped away swiftly, almost as if they were snatched in the blink of an eye following the discovery of her deceitful actions. Subsequently, she vanished from the racing scene, leaving behind a tale that remains peculiar in the annals of long-distance running. Her passing later marked the end of a chapter, yet her story continues to intrigue and bewilder those familiar with the sport. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.